Hey guys, welcome to the Hades review. So Hades is a roguelike action dungeon crawler, developed and published by Supergiant Games. So you take control of Zagreus, the son of Hades, as he tries to attempt to escape hell. The actual gameplay. So this is what you're going to be doing for the majority of the game. You're going to spawn in a room, you're going to be given a gift by the god, you're then going to have to fight that room and then progress forward. So now, how do you keep this from getting, let's say, repetitive? Well, each of the gods obviously give you different boons, so you can switch your playstyle up in that method. At the same time, you have a mirror that allows you to enhance yourself, and you have options with that. So you can determine how Zagreus performs as you progressively get stronger. You also have a variety of weapons at hand, and with each of those weapons, you have different styles of those weapons. So there is a significant amount of diversity there in terms of how you can play the game or how you choose to actually play the game. As well, at the same time, when you pick up each of the gods' powers, you'll be given a unique line of dialogue. And something that was interesting to me was, in the 93 hours that I played, I very seldom ever got a repeated line. And I went and actually looked it up, and there's about over 10,000 audio files for the game. So, unless you do more than 150 runs, you're not going to hear too many repeated lines as well. The movement and fluidity of the game, it is a 2D beat-em-up. It handles as you would expect, with dashing giving you a little bit more maneuverability here and there. The music in the game is fantastic, and it really sets the pace, along with some beautiful song. The writing and the protagonist. Alright, so again, I think the writing was exceptional. It was fairly unique in terms of the story that's presented to us. What really helps this game is that there's an incredibly positive tone. No matter the single character's motivations, no one ever appears more than frustrated. Everyone seems to be somewhat willing to help you. We do play as Zagreus, who in my opinion is a very well developed character. He's inquisitive. He's always trying to help others. He experiences a range of emotion throughout the game, and it's engaging, if not very heartfelt, to see how he reacts to certain people and the certain things that are said. Cutscenes and story. This is ultimately the main reason to play the game. The story is phenomenal. While there aren't many extra cutscenes in the game, the story is exceptionally engaging, and it took me over 50 hours just to reach the credits. It also took another 30 then to reach the actual epilogue of the game, so it took me roughly about 80 hours, which is substantially a long period of time. There is a magnitude of stories that you are engaged in at any single time. Every single character has a backstory and a chain that you will have to go through or progress forward as the game develops. And they're engaging. All of the stories are engaging. There is a sense of wholesomeness to the game and to everyone involved in the game, which kind of, it's a nice feeling in a way. It's nice to have a game where everyone is sort of aiding you, like helping you move forward rather than being aggressive. The supporting characters. Each of the characters is exceptionally well-rounded, such as Dusa. Hades himself is just a blast to be around, and it's always fun to listen to him bicker at you or make fun of you whenever you die. Very early on, you'll discover your motivation for trying to escape is in fact that you are trying to search for your mother, who apparently did not die, and your father Hades had decided to try and replace her.
Not a chance. Laughable. Denied. Waste of time. Denied.
The emotions of the game. I didn't necessarily tear up, but it is a very emotionally driven game, and it is exceptionally heartbreaking at certain points and fairly satisfying at others. So the environments of the game are split up into 4 different regions, and they're all very pretty. I will say that the artwork style for the game is exceptionally well done, and it will hold up very well, I'd imagine, in the future. The 3D models, maybe not so much, but everything else does and probably will hold up in future very well. The boss fights, in my opinion, were very fun. They provided you with a real sense of challenge and a great sense of progression as you got stronger and moved further along down into, well, up from essentially hell. They also don't get very old, as you have the ability to change up the dynamics of these fights with the Pact of Punishment, or just even through progressing, you will find that some of the fights actually develop or change over time, which is pretty fantastic. So moving on to then the end game content. So I finished the game again in about 50 hours, with 80 hours onwards for the epilogue. So you have a significant portion of time with the game, so you're getting your money's worth from that perspective. What it did well, I thought the game did everything very well. Almost everything. So it did the music well. It did its cutscenes and its characters extremely well. The gameplay is fun and unique in a sense. The writing and the protagonist are enjoyable. The supporting characters are actually memorable. I will remember these people by name and their associated personalities. That is more than I can say for a lot of different video games that I play nowadays. So what did it suck at? There were very few memorable moments. Once you reach the end game, things could become very grindy. You would have to go through multiple runs just in order to buy out whatever extra things you wanted at that point. And I mean a lot of extra runs. If you wanted specific weapons or you hadn't found something during your playthrough, you were going to have to face pure chance of actually being able to get them. So multiple runs just to meet one person or to try and find that lost guy, to try and unlock a certain line of dialogue in order to get what you wanted. And that could take a serious amount of time. So there were things that I missed as a result of this, so I didn't like the fact that in the endgame that there was a bunch of grinding, and at the same time, you also had pure chance playing a part in whether or not you got what you wanted. Just, again, going back to the endgame, while some things can be grindy, you do get the Pact of Punishment, which will then allow you to challenge yourself to make additional runs harder, to unlock various achievements and unlockables. You can also further upgrade the house with some more expensive pieces, and you can get a badge of vanity if you have nothing else to do with the points. So for me, the final verdict of the game is it gets a 10 out of 10. The game delivers on every front, and it's worth every penny for the amount of time that you get to spend with it. It is addicting, the gameplay is fun, and the story is phenomenal. This is a game you want to go out and get.